The Tokyo 2020 Olympics, held in 2021? I know, I'm just as confused as you are. I don't care though, because Google has made literally an entire game around it. That's right, Google, the big corporate company, has made a pixel art game that you can literally access just by clicking their logo. I thought it would make a cool video, so I decided to check it out. So here it is, my walking advertisement for the Olympics. The game starts off with a lovely tutorial where you use something crazy, okay? You use the arrow keys. It introduces this character, Lucky. It's this weird cat character that you play. In order to make sure that you are adept at the controls of the game, it slaps you into a game of table tennis so that you can learn the controls. It's basically Pong, but with more textures. And when this bar at the bottom is full, I can do a Super Smash! Which basically just wins me the game. It was here I was presented with the world that Google had created. I don't know what it's called, so for convenience, why don't we call it J.K. Mason Land? So it's like an open world game, right? Remember, an open world game at literally the click of the Google icon. So throughout J.K. Mason Land, there would be games and events going on, presumably Olympic based. I don't know, I haven't paid attention to the Olympics since London 2012. However, I don't think skateboarding is an official sport. I strolled on down into Tanuki City. Yeah, that's right, this place actually has a proper name. The main sport of Tanuki City was skateboarding. So, being the kind heart I am, I willingly embraced the other cultures, and I took a shot at skateboarding. Just kidding, I only did it so I could get some epic reading material! You get points for doing tricks on the skateboard, so simply rolling about on it isn't good enough. Which sucks, as that's all I can do in the real world. You had a grand selection of 3 tricks to choose from. Kickflip, nose grab, and a backflip. If you did these tricks in quick succession, you could form a combo and get even more points! However, if you failed or mistimed your jumps, which I did quite a lot, you would end up losing your points. So, after failing an embarrassing number of times, I was able to acquire the ability to read. To read skateboarding. After acquiring said reading material, I started roaming the city for activities to do, people to talk to, and more reading! However, the city was blocked off by these construction fellas. Which is weird, because I thought the city looked pretty complete from where I was standing. And it'd stay closed until I got this water for them, which I responded with an attitude of a screw you, not my problem. Then I rocked up to this purple dojo place with skateboarding practice and this fella with an umbrella. There wasn't anything of use there. Then I had some sushi and went on my way. I talked to this fella outside of these wacky train tracks, and he said that in order to access this dodgy skate park, I need to give him some super secret password, to which I agreed. So I strolled past the big man in the purple dojo, and there was this lad who couldn't keep his trap shut, and ended up spewing out the password to me, of which I was very grateful for. So I entered the dodgy, secret, exclusive skateboarding club, did a few tricks, and then left never to be seen again. I was given a selection of teams to join. The red team looked cool, the blue team looked strong, the yellow team looked sneaky, but the green team, the green team, they were green. So by process of elimination, I'm sure you can probably guess which team I ended up joining. Then I met with this bird fella, of whom appears to be stalking my every move, which means I can't try and flirt with any of the ladies on J.K. Mason Land, because he'll be watching. This made me really sad. So to collect my thoughts, I went to the relaxing beach so I could take in some scenery, listen to the waves, and run a blimming marathon. There isn't much to explain about this one. Use the up and down arrows and avoid these crabs and other obstacles. Get first place. It's less of a marathon and more of just a sprint. Of course, after winning, I gained the ability to read. To read running. I was gonna do some more running until this man literally lost his daughter, and somehow I'm responsible for finding her. Brilliant parenting. You know that attitude I said? I enlisted it again and went, screw you, not my problem, I'm not gonna parent his kid. So he's temporarily lost his daughter for a little while, as I went off to find some twigs for this artist. I only found 2, and gave up. So instead, I roamed into a tree where people were arguing. I found it funny, so I didn't try to stop it, and just left. There was nothing I could do in this area of the map, so I left. I found the dude's daughter on the way out though. Don't worry, no children were lost in the making of this video. I took a quick detour back into the city, gave this dude a book that he lost, and then decided, damn, I want to see more of this city. I decided to help the construction fellas by getting water from the hot springs in the mountain. So I took a trip to the big mound of rocks at the top of Jake and Mason Land. It took me a little while, but eventually I found the hot springs, and I learnt that they had been covered by snow. You know, how do you get rid of snow? You know, just get like a shovel or something? No! Flaming arrows! Yeah, flaming arrows seems a little bit over the top. So here's the list of things to do. Get a flaming arrow, to get to the hot spring, to get water, to get to the construction fellas, to get to the other side of the city. I was in no rush though. And this area had some more reading material, so I casually climbed a big mound of rocks to get to it. I'd say casually, it was actually a lot harder than I expected. But I got there in the end, and was now able to read far more than I did before. With only 2 seconds left too. That was a close one. So of course, I now needed to get flaming arrows from the arrow place. So that's what I proceeded to do. I assumed it would be in the area where archery was the main sport. So I went to this dock's boat place and encountered this pig fella who was drowning in a world of arrows. He asked me to help pick up all the arrows for him, which I responded with an attitude of, screw you, not my problem. I wasn't being mean. I just had a quest to do, and that quest was to find a flaming arrow. So I rocked up to the arrow shop, and of course I had no money, but it's okay. I had the power of the developers on my side. He didn't have any arrows though. We needed to get lava from Oni Land. And we needed to get him the resources to make flaming arrows, of which was lava from Oni Land. So that's another thing added to the itinerary of literally just unlocking the other part of the city. I was now desperate to find out what was so important on the other side of the city. So I went straight over to Oni Land. Didn't even try to learn how to read in the land of flaming arrows. I just needed to get to the other end of the city. I thought this Oni guy could give me lava, as there was lava behind him. But instead of giving me lava, I accidentally agreed to help him become a baker. The bakery was probably on the other side of the city, because I hadn't found one in the city I was allowed in. So I thought it was worth it, and I was going in that direction regardless. Oh, would you look at that, how convenient. Lava in a bottle, just lying around! I whisked the lava over to the arrow shop. They crafted up a lovely and explosive arrow, which opened up the hot springs. I then stole some of their water, strolled back down to the city, gave it to the construction men, and finally, the other side of the city was open for me. I was right, the bakery for the Oni fella was on the other side of the city, and I was somehow able to coerce this person to retire so my mate could become a baker. Additionally, by opening up this part of the city, I was able to go back to the beach and shut up the arguing couple with some nice and lovely baked goods. I was rewarded with more running! But this time it was proper difficult as well. But, like, seriously, explain to me how I'm supposed to avoid these dudes! Like, come on! It was actually really, really difficult to do this sprint too. But I instilled an unbreakable strategy of only running masters are aware of. Giving up. So that's what I did. I couldn't be bothered to run. I had scrolls to collect, reading to do, knowledge to gain. So that's what I did. I set out to learn how to read archery. I shot these fans, which are worth 50 points, shot these targets, which are worth 100 points, and shot these explosives. The explosives are worth nothing, but if you blow it up, it will destroy everything around it, and the things around it are worth points. The archery was reasonably hard, although being the pro gamer that I am, I was easily able to beat my opponent, and earned my 4th scroll of reading. It was here I decided to set my goals on solely acquiring reading material. I didn't have much time to make this video, so I wanted one goal and one goal only: to do more reading. I decided to go and try my luck with table tennis, as I already knew how to play from the tutorial. As expected from a veteran table tennis player, I was able to earn the table tennis scroll with ease. I then went full on pro mode and beat out the apparent most difficult version of table tennis, which was fun. I was in speedrunning mode as I arrived back to Oniland. Their reading material was reading material on Rugby, so of course, because they had reading material, I participated in their sports. Rugby is pretty much, you just run to the right, like as fast as you can, and you avoid the red and blue lads, you get the power-ups, win the game. Of course, I didn't realise that and thought just running and pressing the spacebar would do the trick. Yeah, it didn't. I learnt eventually though, and acquired my 6th piece of reading material. Then, it was brought to my attention that a member of their rugby team thought it would be a brilliant idea to just abandon the team and take a nice vacation up to the big pile of rock formations. So I went looking for their missing player and found him chilling near the base of the mountain, which is quite funny considering the Oni lads had said he'd gone up the mountain, not just to the mountain. I found the lad and he returned to his team, or at least that's where I assume he went, I don't know. I then proceeded to go and collect the final scroll, swimming, which is quite funny because that's another thing I suck at. But this isn't a video game! And in video game swimming is just Osu. Or Friday Night Funkin', as I guess that's the newer, more trendy version of Osu. Regardless, all I needed to do was tap my arrow keys in time with the beat. And due to my Osu expertise, I think I did, decent for my standards. And now, it was here that I unlocked my final piece of reading material. What had taken preschoolers years to learn, I had mastered in 4 to 5 hours, in a 10-minute YouTube video, and in only 2 days. I now knew how to read. What is this Tokyo Olympics advertisement about? At the end of the day, I don't think it's about the Olympic Games itself. I think it's about the journey of the competitors. Encouraging people to go and play for their teams, helping those who need it, and additionally, knowing when to tell someone to screw off! This game is fun, super simple, and honestly, probably one of the best promotional pieces I'd say Google have done. That's my advertisement for the Olympics. Not actually, like I said, I haven't given a toss since 2012. Like and subscribe!